Hello everyone, it's David, the Webflow guy, and on this episode, we'll look at how you can create this very simple, straight to the point animation. So I stumbled on this animation on Google Business Profile page, and I said to myself, why not replicate this on Webflow? Someone out there may need it for their next project. So join me and let's build. Okay, this last one. Okay, so this is what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to build out this animation inside the Webflow. See, there's a circle here and there's a line. As you scroll, you see the circle just go down the line. All right, so let's go. So right now we're in Webflow. I already have my structure already built out from the section home hero to the padding global using client first. You know I'm always a fan of client first. So we have the padding section medium. So inside of the padding section medium, which is at the center of the page, right, my section home hero is set to 100 viewport height. So inside my padding section medium, we're going to bring in a div block. All right, inside this div block, we're going to style it. We're going to call this div block, what are we going to call this div block now? We're going to say home. I already have all the classes here. I've done it before, so just going to see it repeated. Home hero content. Okay, so we're gonna call it home hero content. So that is the content for the home hero. Now this home hero content, you're going to set it to display grid, because trying to achieve this, we have these three content here, which is obviously grid. You can use grid, you can use flexbox, but I would love to use grid. So we have this one here and this one and this one. All right, so we have that as the home hero content, which is set to display grid. Right, edit grid. We have the three different grids or rows. Now inside your home hero grid, you're going to bring in a div block again. Inside of the first column, we're going to call this one home hero item. So this is the good thing about using client first. It helps you organize your class namings. You know what you're going to name your classes without having to stress yourself or use some weird names. So home hero item, which obviously would tell someone that is a beginner or someone that doesn't know about Webflow, just by looking at the namings, he can say, oh, okay, home hero item, which would mean it's an item of this content. Okay, so inside this first home hero item, we're going to bring in, this is where we'll start bringing in the images, just as we have here. We have this image here. We have a heading here, maybe H3, and we have a block of text. So we have the image. We're just going to choose a random image from our collection. Maybe we would say maybe this Apple logo. So this is an image. So inside of the home hero item, next we have heading. So we have a heading here, maybe a H3. All right, and inside of it too, we now have the text block. Okay, we have a text block. So the home hero item, mind you, I set it to flexbox. All right, so that everything will be displayed. The display is flex and the direction is vertical. That is why you see everything here displayed vertical like this. All right, and the gap in between them is 1.5 rem. If I make it 4 rem, you will see how it has 4 rem gap in between, but 4 rem is too much, so maybe 1 rem in between. Let's say 1.5 is perfect. Okay, so moving on, we have the icon, we have the heading, and we have the text. Let's just do a quick copy of the text, free. Okay, let's just paste this here, and we have this too. We will not really focus on the design, we'll just focus on the main goal is to get that animation. All right, so we have this home hero item. So we're just going to copy and paste so that we would fill up this other 2 rows or columns. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V. So you see now we've pasted the same content in 3 places because it's a grid. All right, because it's a grid. So the columns, 1 column, 2 column, 3 columns. All right, so we have these 3. Let's assume we are done with this first part. Now let's move on to this part. This is where it gets interesting, so pay attention and follow up. Now for that part, we are done with this. Just close this. So inside of our container large, we have the padding section medium, where we have this column, this 3 column. Okay, so we're going to close this padding section medium. So inside of the container large is where we're going to have this animation. all right, or this this whole vertical line and the circle. So let's jump right into that. So inside the container large, we're going to bring in a div block. So this is our div block, all right. Look, just try to understand the arrangement of your classes, not like the arrangement of your navigator, what is where, which is under which, and the likes. So I have this container large. Inside of it we have the padding section medium, which houses these 3 columns. Now inside the container large also we have this div block. Now inside the div block, we're going to call this div block, since we're trying to build out this animation, we're just going to call it line wrapper. Okay, no, sorry, we're going to say line component. So it's like a whole component on its own. Let's just say line component, all right, line comp for now. Okay, good. Now inside the line component, we're going to bring in another div block inside of it, and we're going to call this div block line, maybe line content, or line, let's say line content. All right. Now this line content, we are going to try to bring in. This line is like an image, an SVG, all right, an SVG file, which I already have. So this line content is a background image. This is how I am going to solve this problem. I'm going to go here and choose image and vertical line. Okay, remove all tiling, click on cover or contain. Okay, let it be at the center. You see, so my line content, I made it an image. I brought in the image, the size is contain, position, center, no tiling. All right, good. So you see, we're almost there. Oops, mine is not visible. Okay, let's just give this our line content a height. Let's just say 100 pixels. Let's give it a height. Okay, good. So it needs a height of 100 pixels. So let's convert this 100 pixels to rems. So 100 divided by 16 rem. That is roughly 6.25 rem. Okay, so now we have our line here. All right, so the next thing I want to do now, this is another important thing you need to note. Let's, inside the line component, let's try to create that circle. That's this red circle. All right, so I'm going to bring in a div block here. So we have this div block. This is what we're going to call round, maybe round circle. All right, so this is our round circle. Now this round circle, let's give it a background of maybe a red color. Okay, good, this is the red. So okay, we have it here, background color red. The radius would be 100%, and we want to give it a width of maybe 1.2 rem and a height of 1.2 rem. Okay, so you see we have width 1.2 rem, height 1.2 rem. If you're using pixels, I wouldn't advise you to use pixels, but you can if you want to. 1.2 rem, 1.2 rem. So we have this circle here. Now you notice that this circle is here. So how do we now position the circle to be here? This is where you need to, use what is it called? Positioning. All right. This is where you need to learn how to use positioning. Now we have the line component, we have the line content, which is having this circle in this vertical line inside, and we have the round circle. What we can do is pretty simple. You're going to do one of 3 things. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to try to move this round circle into this line content. All right, so you're going to drag this round circle into the line content like this. So this line circle is now appearance to this round circle. This line content is now appearance to this round circle. All right, so how do we now move this round circle to the top? Let's start from here. Now you're going to do this. You're going to make this line content position relative. All right, position relative. That's the first thing you're going to do. Secondly, you're going to make this round circle position absolute. Okay, position absolute. Maybe in my next video I'll talk about positioning relative, absolute, and static, so you have to understand how it works. Right now this round circle is absolute to this line content, okay, which means you can move this round circle around. All right, you can move it to the left, to the right, and all what have you. It is now a child to the line content. So all we want to do, we want to make the left and the right auto. All right, so the left is auto, the right is auto, which means the circle is going to be positioned in the middle. Now you can tweak it from here, see, drag it to the top. So this is positioning for you. So maybe you want to like leave it at minus 10%. Okay, minus 10% is perfect. All right, so by mere looking at it, this is what we have. This is just the static design without any animation for now. What we want to do next is let's move on to the animation part. Let's animate it so as when we scroll, you'll see this circle dropping down. But before we do that, let us now duplicate our section so that we can have it in two places. All right, so that we can have the space to scroll even much longer, so that we'll have to see the animation pretty well. So what I'm going to do, I'll just have to delete everything that we have here, all this content that we have repeated here. I'll just delete it, so we don't need it. That's this line component, we don't need it. Just leave this grid for now. All right. Okay, good. So when we scroll, we'll see what is going on in the viewport. Now let's go to the animation part. Now what you want to animate, where you want to animate is the line component, right? So you click on this line component, you go to animation, now you go to element trigger, and you click on while scrolling in view. All right, while scrolling in view, you select the action, play scroll animation, and you click on this plus sign, all right, to add animation. You can just call it circle movement animation, whatever you choose to name it. Okay, now we have the plus sign here. We have 0% and we have 100%. That means at 0%, when it starts getting into view, what's going to happen? Where will the circle be at? And at 100%. So we're going to click on this plus sign here, and you would say move. You want to move the round circle. That is what you want to animate. Now, please do not get it confused. We are applying the animation on this line component, but we want the round circle to be the one to animate, to move. All right. So now we're going to change this action here. It says here line component, which means, is it the line component you want to animate? Nope, it's not. So what we're going to do, we're going to right click here and say change target. You're going to click on this round circle as the target. So you are targeting the round circle. So we now have round circle here at 0%. All right. Now at 100%, it's also saying line component. You're going to change the target also to the round circle. So at 0%, at 100%. Now you click on this turn on live preview so that you see what's going on. Now this is where it gets interesting. Now the line component gets into view from 24%. So you're obviously you're seeing the line component from 24%, right? Because this live preview is on. So from what we can see here, you see this marker here is telling you that the entire line component, which is this guy here, is in view from 24%. Now you want to scroll also like this. Just eyeball it so that you would know where you want to start the animation. Let's just assume, let's just say at 47%, that is when you want to start the round, that is where you want the round circle to start moving. So you drag this round circle to 45%, all right, 45%, and you want to now animate the y-axis, because the y-axis is in charge of moving up and moving down. All right, so at 45%, the y-axis is 0 pixel. All right, so let me just scroll left and right so you see what it's actually doing. So at 45%, the round circle is positioned to 0 pixel, which is the starting point. Now at 100%, the y-axis, which is the round circle, should go down here to maybe 100 pixel. All right, so at 45%, it's at the top. At 100%, it's at the bottom. If you turn on live preview, you'll see what we have. When you start to scroll, you'll see what's happening. Now let us preview it. So this is what we have here. When you start to scroll, it starts going down. All right. Now you can choose to delay it even more to say, okay, let the animation start at maybe 50% or maybe 55% in the viewport, and at 100% it should be at the bottom. So if you preview now, if you start scrolling, you see nothing is happening until it gets into 50% of the viewport. That is when you will see the animation working. All right. So at this position, nothing is happening. As you're scrolling at 50%, then the circle starts dropping down. All right. So that's it. Scroll up, scroll down, you see what's happening. All right. It can get a little bit confusing, but it shouldn't. All right. It's just, you just understand what is happening. It's just basic commands telling it that, okay, I'm going to animate line components. All right. The animation should be at line components. However, I want the round circle, all right, to be the one that is animating or that is moving, which means line components visibility at 50%, the round circle should start dropping. All right. So the line component at 50% or 55% visibility, this round circle should drop, you know, to 100 pixel down. That's the y-axis. All right. So now you can now choose to save this and maybe give a smoothing of maybe 80%, so it's way smoother. The animation will just be smooth. So you see here, see how it's dropping, looking very smooth and slow. All right. It's more realistic. So that is how you can achieve this animation here. It's pretty simple, or that is how I would approach such a task. All right. So I don't know if there's any other thing I'm missing. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let us publish to live and see how it's going to look like on the live site. Okay, just do like this and you will see the animation. When you scroll, it starts going down. All right. So that should be all for now.